What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and in today's video I'll be bringing you the big preview for the round of 16 clash between Brazil and South Korea. This game will be played at Stadium 974, better known as the Container Stadium, on December 5th. The winner of this clash would meet Croatia or Japan. And you know what's crazy? What if South Korea prevails and Japan prevail and they meet each other in what would be one of the wickedest derby we've ever seen at the World Cup? In terms of the results so far en route to the round of 16, for Brazil, they brushed aside Serbia in their first game, 2-0. It took a worldie by Casemiro to get past the Swiss in a 1-0 affair, and with household changes made in the final group match against Cameroon, they lost to the African team 1-0, where Cameroon became the first African nation to defeat Brazil at the World Cup. For South Korea, they started the World Cup brilliantly with a 0-0 draw against Uruguay, but went down to Ghana in the second match in a 3-2 thriller. They followed it up by shocking Portugal, a changed Portugal, 2-1, to book themselves a place against all odds in the round of 16. In terms of the star players for both Brazil and South Korea, for Brazil, I'll have to go with Richarlison. Listen, this is a star-studded team, but it was hard to pick one. But Richarlison, he has been the man so far, in my opinion, with those goals in the game against Serbia. The best goal of the World Cup so far. And with Neymar injured, I would have gone with Neymar, but he picked up an injury. For South Korea, breakout star of the World Cup for them, Cho Gu-sung. He plays his football locally, and I don't think he'll be doing so for very much longer. Those two-headed goals against Ghana ultimately proved to be the goals that got them into the round of 16 on goal difference. So remember the name, Cho Gu-sung. In terms of head-to-head between the two teams, there's been 9 previous meetings between Brazil and the Korea Republic, with Brazil winning 7, Korea winning 1, and another game ending in a draw. The last meeting between the two teams was an international friendly back in June of 2022, where Brazil ramped to a 5-1 win. Talk about carnage, but this is the World Cup, okay? It's the World Cup. Let's calm down. In terms of the starting 11 for both teams, let's start with Brazil, who are led by Tite, and they do play a 4-3-3 formation. I chose to go with the match that they played against Switzerland, where they played a full-strength team, and not the one against Cameroon, where they made a lot of changes. Alisson will come back in goal, of course, for Edison. And in terms of their defense, some question marks are there, definitely, because there's injuries to Telles, Danilo, and Alexandro, but Danilo is working his way back to fitness, but the other two are said to be probably out for the World Cup. Telles confirmed, not Alexandro. So look, we might actually see, it's hard to call, but available options. Let's put it this way. Eder Militao, who's quite versatile, Marquinhos, who's versatile, Thiago Silva, Dani Alves available. In the midfield, we move up. Are we going to see Neymar back in this team? Guys, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But Casemiro would be there, and Lucas Paqueta would be there as well. Are we going to see Fred? Maybe off the bench. So, look, we move up into the forward positions. It should be Vinicius Jr., Rafinha, and Richarlison again. But I have to say Gabriel Martinelli did look good in that game against Cameroon. And if it wasn't for Davis Ipasi, he would have probably bagged a hat-trick. There's also the option of Rafinha and Anthony in the forward positions. But listen, it is hard to gauge. It is hard to tell what Tite is going to do. But expect household changes from that team that played and lost against Cameroon. Oh, and another notable mention, Gabriel Jesus is out of the World Cup with an injury as well. So let's talk about South Korea and how they could line up in this massive game against Brazil. Look, Paulo Bento is back on the touchline after serving his one-match ban, and he plays a 4-3-3 formation. I don't expect the backline to change too much, but Kim Wai did pick up an injury in the last game and had to go off, so they'll be sweating his fitness. And Kim Min-jae, he has been dealing with some injury as well. He could actually feature in this team. Look, I'm not going to pretend I know this South Korean team like the back of my palm, but it's all good. So, look, in the midfield, there's options Kang In Lee, Hwang In Biom, and Zhang. Are we going to see changes? Maybe. but I expect to see Kang In Lee back in the team because whenever he's been on the field, they look very, very, very dangerous. Moving to the forward lines, Jay Lee, Hunming Son, and Chogu Song to the center. Could we see Hwang Hee-chan start this game after coming off the bench in the last match to score the winner against Portugal? Guys, it is likely that we'll see him because the fact that he came on, it means that he is fit and ready to go. So let's see what the 11 looks like for South Korea. I'm not going to act like I'm an expert at this team. This is one of the most difficult teams to analyze, in my opinion, because the players' names are so difficult to remember. So we move. Let's take a look at the key insights for both teams coming into this game. Brazil have progressed from each of their last 7 round of 16 matches at the World Cup, only failing to win in normal time once during this run, progressing via penalties against Chile in 2014. They were last eliminated at this stage in 1990 against Argentina. Wow. Korea Republic have never previously beaten a South American side at the World Cup, drawing twice and losing 4 times. It's not a great record coming into this match at all. They would need to change things. And guys, we must predict this match. Of course we have to. Is this one-sided as it seems? I don't think so. This Korean team is going to be a threat. They're going to keep Brazil on their heels. They're going to play with a lot of energy. They do have some talismanic players in their team that could cause some serious damage if they get in behind. And they could also be a threat on set pieces. So I don't think Brazil should be complacent in this match and take South Korea lightly. Because what happened against Cameroon could happen again. Failing to score, failing to beat the goalkeeper. Cameroon stayed in the game, and when they had their opportunity, the brilliant ball to Vincent Aboubakar was put past Edison. Brilliant, brilliant goal. Look, South Korea could be dangerous. Hunming Son, Hwang Hee-chan, Hwang In-beom, these guys could play. Lee Kang-in, these guys could play. So I don't think Brazil should go out there and be complacent and be overly stylish. They should keep things simple. I don't know if Brazilians know how to keep things simple, but keep things simple. Take your chances, put away those opportunities, be clinical. Because if you don't, South Korea, when they do get their chances, I believe will punish Brazil if the chances present themselves. So far, Brazil, they have only conceded once, that Vincent Aboubakar goal. Before that, they only had a handful of shots at their goalkeeper. Alisson had nothing to do in those 2 games. Is that going to be a similar situation this time around? Maybe, maybe not. You see what I mean? So they can't be complacent. Let's just put it that way. South Korea as well, they're going to have to be tough. They're going to have to be resilient and tenacious. Because if they allow Brazil to take the game away from them very early, there's no coming back from there. Because the quality of Brazil, if Neymar comes back in the team, Richarlison, Rafinha, Vinicius Jr., Casemiro from midfield could hurt you. And more. Big defenders coming up on set pieces. Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, Eder Militao, if he features. These guys could hurt you. So for South Korea, their only hope here is to stay in the match for as long as possible. And they could hit Brazil on the break through a giveaway in midfield, transition, bam, goal. Just like they did against Portugal. Most people probably thought they couldn't beat Portugal. They did it. And Portugal didn't make 9 changes. They didn't. So Brazil should not take South Korea lightly. Guys, my prediction for this game. Brazil's going to boss position, but I think it could be a very open game of football at times. There will be periods where South Korea would have the ball, or maybe they won't, but let's just give them some credit for the way they played so far at the World Cup. They competed against Uruguay, they didn't lose, and they beat Portugal. And it was a really good, thrilling game against Ghana. But I'm afraid to say it's a bit too early for Brazil to bow out. And I think they lucked out with the matchup here against South Korea. And they should go on to win the game 3-1. 3-1. I think they get some early goals, rattle the Koreans, score third when Korea Republic are trying to get one, and then a consolation goal at the end for South Korea, who bow out at the World Cup at the round of 16. Valiant effort. But Brazil would march on, where they will play the winner of the Croatia-Japan fixture. And they will be loving that matchup as well, where they could face one of Argentina or the Netherlands in the semifinals. So, look, Brazil going to win the World Cup. They're, of course, one of the favorites. But I didn't pick them to win the World Cup. I went for Argentina, but they could prove me dead wrong. Guys, I'm your boy Dom. This is my preview prediction for this massive game, Brazil versus South Korea. Guys, I do fancy seeing that Far East derby between Korea and Japan. You know, I rather see that, to be honest. I'm just keeping it real. That'll be a massive, that'll be sweet. But guys, thanks for watching another one. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like the video if you haven't yet done so. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.